So let's talk about the tracks on the album.
Okay.
Give us a little bit of information about each one. We're going to start off with Buy Me.
Okay. I wrote Buy Me so that I didn't have to ask audience members to come and buy my CDs at the end of shows.
Right.
I didn't really like doing it. I felt a bit uncomfortable doing it, so I thought if I wrote a song about it, then I wouldn't have to mention it.
Do you explain this at the before you sing the song each time?
I do, which means I just end up talking about it anyway, exactly. Yeah. But you know, it's kind of you can take it on lots of different levels there. I guess in a wider sense, it's just that more artists nowadays are kind of doing a lot of stuff for themselves, which means that you do have to literally ask people to come buy your CDs at the end of shows and things like that. And so it was, it's kind of the state of how things are at the moment in the music industry generally.
Of course. And you've got a great video for it as well, right?
I do, yeah. The animated video with me frolicking around in a wild 45 shop with lots of inanimate objects that come to life.
There's a doctor of medicine sitting on.
Oh god, this is a song about me and a friend of mine called Dr. Zoinks, who we used to stay up very late at night and just sort of hang out and do silly things. And one night we spent a lot of time rearranging people's garden furniture in the front of their gardens before they woke up. That song is basically about that night and just some of the really silly things that we did. We imagined that everybody...
You were like angels and they were like robots.
And they were like robots.
Right. And also quite a lot of interesting sounds on that as well.
Yeah, definitely. There's loads and loads of stuff on that. There's a lot of zips. And there's a pair of braces on a big cardboard box.
Cool stuff.
And loads of just weird, funny noises that we just, ran around hitting stuff and, chopped up and used.
Next one, is quite a beauty. Same story.
Love this one.
Yeah,
I think it might be one of my favourites. This is about how everybody's the same. And it's just kind of all set in a dark bar, where there are all these different stories kind of happening. And I used they tried to sort of create like a bar song, so there's like a little homemade glass orchestra in there. And there's some sort of odd whack 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 sounds that would
So scientific.
Yeah. No, it was just the like the little windy things on headphones that it kept while I was doing the glass orchestra. It kept kind of hitting the thing and making this whack sound.
Oh, okay.
So then we chopped that up and used that.
Yeah, so more accidental kind of stuff.
Yeah, which is one of the best parts of making music, the little accidents.
I moved. I saw. I left. I walked. I felt.
Tired of the city?
Yes,
Are you?
sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I love living in London, and sometimes it kind of gets on top of me a little bit. Sometimes on the tube and nobody's looking at each other and it all feels a bit separate, even though you're kind of virtually living on top of, millions of people. So this is just a little song that I just wrote for myself, really, and it's kind of got a little bit of a kind of anthem chant in it. It's a
little bit more electronic sounding than maybe some of the others.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a dancey, it's fine if you're tired of the city. You can just sing this song.
Yeah.
Of the city, we are tired.
inspired by a film that I saw called The Apartment. With Jack Lemmon, and in it he's just this guy that just constantly keeps going to work, and it's sort of all very faceless, and there's just a huge sort of typing pool and just loads of people constantly, you know, on their machines, and so that's what inspired the song basically. So I actually do use a typewriter in the song, and yeah, it's just about having to sort of toe the line during the day, but then at night time that's when you're free to do whatever you want to do.
Seems to be a slight preoccupation of yours in this album, just maybe here and there, the kind of drone-like society and people toeing the line.
Yeah, definitely.
The
and
robots,
just, yeah,
you know.
absolutely, and just a slight sort of sense of being trapped, maybe escaping in whichever way that you feel that you can.
In the nighttime I grow wild and something.
So the next one's Post, which is going to be the next single, right?
Yeah.
It's probably my favourite actually on the album. It's the one that got me in the first place when I first listened to your album, one I kept playing again and again and again. And yeah, beautiful little ditty really is how I describe it. How would you describe it?
Yeah, it is. It's about how you kind of think about the kind of thing that you would really like in a person, and you kind of formulate it all in your head, and then you actually get it, and that is quite an amazing thing.
Mail order.
Yeah.
More ways than one.
Yeah, right on your doorstep.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes in today's society, women end up trying to be all things to all people, and I think sometimes it's just impossible.
So again, this is quite a sort of well, not an indictment on society, but again, you're probably expressing views about society as a whole. Again, until we've sat down and had this conversation, I hadn't really sort of worked this all out in my head. But there seems to be a kind of deeper message to a lot of these songs.
Yeah, definitely. There's also the other lighter side of it though, that I really love Hawaiian music. It's kind of a secret thing of mine, so I had to get some Hawaiian influences into that song too. So it's kind of, yeah, it's about all of those things, but it's also trying to look at things in a lighter way, I think.
And that Hawaiian thing works with the whole kind of 50s exotica.
Yeah, I love it.
Isn't it?
I'm not that girl. If you
So this song, Devil's on Your Tail,
Yes.
a little bit different.
It is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's got a slightly different feel.
Yeah. This was at a time in my life where there was a few difficulties going on, and I was basically on the move a lot, and being on the move meant that I didn't have to think about what was going on. So I kind of suddenly had an epiphany and realised this when I was in Berlin, and that's when I wrote this song, and I just wrote it kind of in a street cafe, just sort of looking at the world going by and realising that I've sort of been on the run a bit. I just wanted it to be a little bit grittier and a bit sort of more raw than the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's not quite as produced as the others.
No.
And also this was the one where I was actually getting a bit of a cold while we were recording.
Right.
And so Steph made me go out and buy a bottle of rum, and so I drank quite a lot. Yeah, I drank quite a lot of rum and then did the vocal take. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Cool. It's very short tune, isn't it? So it's almost a skip. Really,
Well, I was so drunk.
beat the tram, beat the bus, wander free. Daddy, you got mischief on your mind.
So the next tune from the album is a tune called Wonder Man.
Yes.
Spelled W-U-N-D-A.
Yes.
And it's not super, it's a kind of rat. That's not what I was expecting you to say.
It's like a love rap.
Right, I love that, okay.
Yeah. You didn't expect that from the tune?
No, I need to listen to that again.
Yeah, I think you should.
Because I always took it as a very positive
No, not at all.
Yeah, I need to.
No, there's a naughty trail of breadcrumbs that you need to follow to get to the meaning.
Knows how to play with his make.
So the next song is the only cover version of the album.
Yeah.
And one, when I saw it on paper originally, it was like, oh, how's that going to work? And then when I heard it, it's, again, one of my favourite tracks of the album, I think.
Oh, thanks.
And it's a Please cover.
It is, yeah.
What's it called?
Every little thing she does is magic. Yeah, it's quite interesting. The first chords in it are exactly perfectly right for the open strings on the violin.
Right.
And so, idly, when I've been playing the violin, I just started kind of figuring them out, and that's where it started really from there. I love that song anyway, but it's quite interesting. I've had quite an interesting reaction from that, because there are a lot of people that don't like it as a song, but then like that version. Yeah,
I've had that from people as well. Yeah.
But I actually do think it's a great tune.
Yeah, it's a very laid-back version. Turn it into a complete ballad, really, isn't it?
I have, and I'm playing everything on.
Right.
I'm playing all the instruments, so I did it like a string arrangement, and I'm playing like a little Chinese meditation instrument called a gaching.
Okay.
Do I have to tell?
So now we come to the title track of the album.
Yeah.
Barefoot in the Kitchen.
Yeah.
Kind of speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? To a certain extent. Not really about cooking, though, right?
It's about cooking. Yeah.
On a level.
But it's.
On another level, was it about something else?
Yeah. It's about a relationship that I once had that involved a lot of cooking and a lot of other stuff. And it all kind of got quite mixed up.
Right.
And no, the guy was from the Middle East, and so he was always listening to Middle Eastern music quite often. I used to cook for him, and I used to be barefoot quite a lot of the time. And so there are some kind of Eastern strings in there and things like that.
It's all I look at with that momentary sense.
This was probably the most recent song actually that I wrote, and during the making of this album, my mum died, and this was a song that I wrote for her, and so obviously it's kind of very personal, and it's kind of a little song for all mums really, and I'm a mum now as well, so it's kind of like a little homage to mums.
My beautiful canary, you made me
Okay, so we've reached the last song on the album. We just had Canary, and I think Canary really, I think it does actually flow into this song.
Yeah, they work together.
It's almost one piece.
Yeah.
And I think by the time you get to the end of the album, you feel like you're in quite a different place.
Yeah, that was the intention, definitely.
So this is a tune called Sunlight, which is a very short tune, almost a teasing tune.
Yeah, well, it kind of is a teasing tune for the rest of the tune, which is hopefully going to come on the second album.
Right, so are you hoping to start your next album with that tune?
Yeah.
So all the albums, your ideas, your albums will flow into each other?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So
Have some kind
idea.
of continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any particular story behind Sunlight?
I just was walking along the street one day and it had been raining, and then the the sun came out, and it was just one of those times where it's quite sort of observational, really, just about how people walk through different weather systems. Sorry.
That's deep, Bev, that's deep.
And when the mood takes me, I just got to kick my shoes off and get barefoot in your kitchen. Barefoot in your kitchen. Barefoot in your kitchen.
Bev, thanks so much for taking us through your album.
Pleasure.
It's called Barefoot in the Kitchen,
It is.
and it's out about now. More 1.5, right?
Yeah.
Should people go and buy it?
They should go and buy it, most definitely.